Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dan TML7 joining you with AngryJ'93 from NHL'94.com and NHL'94online.com. We're doing a pretty cool video today. It's one of the questions that I've received from a lot of the guys that have joined us since the Sochel distancing tournament for NHL'94 that we had just a couple months ago. And it was, how do I score against a team that just takes their forward and clogs up the slot? Because when you're playing with your buds in the basement over the past 26 years since this game came out, it's not the most typical style. Usually when you're playing with your buddies, you're playing a run and gun style. It's back and forth. It's C checks, B checks, all the way up and down the ice. And, the games are 7-6. Once you get online and you're a little bit worried about goals for, goals against ratios and stuff like that, and games are getting tighter and you're playing against some really competitive guys, it's kind of an ego thing. You really want to stop goals wherever you can, and clogging up the slot is a great way to do it because most of the goals that are scored in NHL'94 are scored from that danger zone, just like in NHL. So I grabbed AJ. Thanks for joining me tonight, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And I hope we can shed some light on some possible solutions to alleviate this problem that people are running into.
Cool. Yeah, so obviously I grabbed AJ because there's not a single defense in the world that scares this guy. He's definitely top player of NHL'94 in the world. We're waiting for him to lose his crown eventually once one of these new guys plays thousands and thousands of games and they can finally unseat him. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is I played AJ in some exhibition games where I tried this defense. I said I'm just gonna steadfast. I'm gonna take my forward. I'm gonna go to the slot and I'm gonna block it up so that he can't do a one-timer, so that he can't drive the net, and see what happens. And of course, obviously, he shredded that defense. And what we're gonna do is watch a couple of the clips that we did, and I'm gonna get him to talk through what he's doing, what he's thinking, why he's doing it when he does certain things, and we can actually watch how the play shapes up. So we'll just jump right into the action here with the first play. So I'm Calgary here. You'll notice I'm just giving the puck away for him so he can do his stuff. So I take my forward, I clog up the slot like a lot of guys will do. Okay, so let's walk this back and we'll get AJ to tell us what's happening.
Okay, so looks like we got a turnover here in the neutral zone, which is pretty common. Let's go ahead and stop it here. So what I'm doing right now with Granato is right before that, maybe like a split second, there was 3 guys in the slot kind of blocking Granato off from Vernon. So I didn't really want to try and attack Vernon straight on and just lose the puck automatically and have Calgary able to counter. So now I have Granato. I have options. I have the blue line with Blake. I could pass up to him. There's a clear passing lane, but the center is up kind of high towards those defensemen, so I don't really want to risk passing it back to him quite yet. What I do have is a lot of space here on the wing. The defenseman's not really pressuring me. The winger's not really pressuring me. So I have the luxury of just kind of watching what the defense does in reaction to this. So let's go ahead and play it a little bit, like a second or two, and just see how the defense shifts here. So right here, I have a window, but it's a little risky because there's 4 players in the slot. One of them is actually facing towards the passing lane. So if he skates just into that pass, I mean, Granato's not a great passer. He can actually pick that off, and then Calgary could be off to the races. So I want to be very careful, very deliberate with what I'm doing here. And then now I find a slightly better passing angle where the defender in the slot is facing away from the pass, and the other defender who was defending the pass initially is now completely out of the play. So now I have a great pass to Sandstrom, wide open, right side of the net, and swish.
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of what I'm waiting for there, is to have the defense kind of move itself out of position and then find my big shooter in the middle who's just parked there in the slot.
Now, obviously, I mean, Granato's a really good shooter. He's a 5'5", I believe, right?
Sandstrom, yeah, he's a 5'5", so he's going to blow away Vernon in most cases.
Gotcha. And so when you see him, I mean, he's your center. When you see him parked there, you're constantly looking for a passing lane for him. So instead of just sitting there, is there, I mean, like, what should a guy do? I mean, should he be B checking or H, or like holding him? What should he be doing?
I've seen some guys just straight up body check the center, which is pretty smart, but I can just wait that out eventually if nobody comes over to Granato to try and chop him down, which in that play they weren't. You can hold, you can just man a guy to personally take away that passing lane, and by using the winger, it's actually a pretty good idea because you're allowing the defenseman and the centers to hold their more premium defensive positions on the team, because the drones, the defenders, and the centers are your most critical defensive players. The wingers are the people you want to kind of use as your utility men to direct the play into your defense. So that would have been a good case for Roberts to really kind of direct that play away from Stanstrom and make me either go around the net or back up to the point.
Okay.